it was on a project that I was kind of inspired to work on, and I was actually inspired by one of my favorite YouTubers who's actually a pet keeper, and her name is Steff J, and she's from Mexico, and she's known as Steff J on YouTube, and I just love her so much. So I'm gonna show you right here her channel, and I'm also gonna link the video that I got the inspiration from down below in the description box area. So please check out her channel. It's kind of an impromptu little aquatic channel thing that I did last time in that last video. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it in the cards up here somewhere. And she has lots of pets. She has turtles, she has cats and dogs. She does about pretty much everything. She has snails and fish, and she just does so many unique, really fun videos. So you really have to watch her channel. Anyway, so I was inspired by Steff J to do my own homemade custom food for my fish. Now, as you all know, I keep live bears. At the moment, I have platies, I have mollies, and I also have Poecilia wingi, which are endlers. They're not guppies, they're endlers, but they're all from the same family. So I'm keeping those 3 species of fish right now, and I do have all of those fish I have fried. So I may update you soon on all of the different fries that I have. But in this particular video, I decided to do custom-made food for my fish, and I decided to do jelly food. And I got the inspiration from her because she did it with her snails. So I thought I'd try it out. This was the very first attempt at trying this out. I have a big batch now, and the platies didn't seem to like it so much, but the mollies loved it, and the endlers ate it too. So, but the platies were just like, no, ma'am, we don't like this. So I am going to put the video here, and as I'm talking to you guys, you can watch it, and I'll just go through the steps with you as to what I did. And it's not a tutorial, it's not a how-to, it's really pretty easy to do. You just have to follow directions on the box of your gelatin, of whatever choice of gelatin you're using. I'm using Knox. One thing about this gelatin is it smells, and we all know how gelatin is made. So that smell was a little annoying to me, but it really didn't last that long because the cooking process went really fast. But that smell was just, it was a horrific smell. I just couldn't take that smell. But anyway, this is basically what I did. So what I did was I put a pot of water. Well, first thing, I chose my vegetables, or I chose what I was going to use inside of the food. So whatever, if you have carnivorous fish, if you have omnivorous fish, or if you have herbivorous fish, you're going to delegate what you're going to use from what type of fish you have. Since I have omnivorous fish, which means they eat both plant matter as well as protein or meats. So I wanted to get more vegetables into my fish's diet because a lot of the staple foods that I use, the New Life Spectrum, the omega-1 veggie, just have a lot of meat-based things in it. I also keep my fish brine shrimp and daphnia and bloodworms. So there's a lot of protein-based foods in their diet, but I wanted to add more vegetables to their diet. So that's why I decided to do just a vegetable-based chill food. I use spinach, I use cucumber and zucchini, and I did not peel them because I knew that I was going to be blending it up later down the line, so it was all blended hopefully pretty well. And so those are the foods that I picked. I did a little research. Research is key in this hobby, so if you're not doing research, you need to be doing research before you decide to do things. That's just my disclaimer for you. So make sure you do your research on what your fish like to eat before you do this. Just don't put stuff together and then hope for the best, because it may not work out for you. So what I did was I washed the vegetables and I chopped them up, and I put a pot of boiling water on the stove, and I let that water boil. Then I took another container or bowl, whatever you have available. You want to put cold water into that, and then you're going to want to take your boxes of gelatin, depending on how much you're trying to make. You're going to pour your gelatin into that cold water, and then you're just going to let it bloom, which means you're just going to let it solidify and get bigger. So you're going to do that. You're going to let that sit. And while your water is boiling, you just continue to chop up your vegetables or chop up whatever you're going to put into this mixture. And then you're going to pour those things into your pot. So you need to blanch these vegetables. If you're doing vegetables, blanching is the best thing to do, because the raw consistency may not be as digestible for fish as it is for us humans, or something else, or other animals, I should say. So I blanched them in the water for about, I would say, between 3 and 8 minutes, maybe 5 to 7 minutes at the most might be key here. And then once I did that, I let that mixture, before I let that mixture cool, I poured in the solidified bloomed gelatin into the pot with the vegetables in the water. And I stirred it all up, make sure I stirred it up really, really good. And then I let that mixture completely cool before I go on to the next step, which is to blend it up. So once it was completely cooled, I blended up the mixture inside of the blender. I use a Ninja blender. If you guys were curious, the blender in this video is a Ninja, and I got it from Target. It's fairly okay. It's a lot less cheaper than the Blend Tech anyway. So I blended everything up. I did it in batches. You didn't get to see that because I kind of edited the video to make it really short for you guys. So yeah, I just blended all of that up, and then when I was done, I poured it into the container that I'm going to be using. You can either set this in the fridge or you can put it in your freezer. I put it in my freezer just to preserve it long periods of time, and then I just take out sections of it and feed it to the fish. So I did that. So I put it in the container, and then it had a lot of foam. You're probably going to get a lot of foam on top. You're going to want to scrape off all of that foam because it's not going to freeze properly. So you want to, I scraped off all the foam. And you're going to scrape off like, so I'm going to scrape off all the foam, and then I put the top on whatever freezer safe, fridge safe container that you're using, and just let it solidify, let it set, and I let it set overnight, maybe a little longer than 24 hours I think I did. So I would say anywhere between, depending on how much batch you're making, I would say between 6 to 12 hours maybe, or longer, which I did over 24 hours when I let this set. So now let's talk about how the fish liked it. I did mention that in the beginning of the video. The platies weren't so happy with it. As in the video, I did use some flavor enhancer for the fish because I wasn't sure if they were going to be finicky about eating it. So I did that. But even still doing that, the platies didn't seem that interested. I mean, they pecked at it. The fry ate it, but the adult platies were just like, nope, not having it. We don't like it. I might try again with them later on down the line, try to get them used to eating it. But since they weren't so happy with that particular food, I kind of made sure I kept peas in their diet because I do give my fish peas. And I do have veggie pellets for them. So I kind of compensate since they didn't like the gel food for that. So that's why I did that. I compensated. And yeah, the mollies loved it. They ate it. They love it. They ate it. They love it. They love it. They ate it. Yeah. So the endlers seem to be fine with that. And yeah, so this is my first attempt at doing this. I thought it was interesting. When I first started, I had a little hiccups in the road because I wasn't sure exactly how to do the whole gelatin thing, but it's really simple, and it's not that hard to do. There's a lot of places, a lot of companies out there that are starting up this whole epidemic of doing the whole gel food idea, and you can make your own food. So there's a lot of companies that do allow you to make your own foods, and they're pretty expensive from what I've seen. My research, a few things that I've saw on YouTube, they're pretty expensive. So I just want to do the cheaper way, something that would last you an extensive amount of time and not heavy on my pocket. this hobby can get expensive. So I try to make it less expensive for me, for my family. So what I pretty much do. But yeah, so hopefully you'll be able to check out Steff J, and make sure you like this video. I just wanted to sit here with you guys and kind of talk to you and let you know what I've been up to. So I've been up to making Jello. That's what I've been doing. So I don't want to keep this video making it any longer than it already is. If you like these kinds of videos, please give this video a thumbs up, share it, like it, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in my next video.